It is only 4 weeks to the date of my half marathon, meaning there is less than a month to go of the half marathon training block. We are now in the business end of the training block, so every single day will truly matter. Remember, this is my first ever half marathon which I'll be doing, so I'll be showing you some tips and tricks to get me ready for race day. So if you find this video helpful and you do enjoy the content, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and with that being said, let's get into the video. So, as you may know by now, Monday it is Jaffa, but things will look slightly different tonight. So, to elaborate, this night at Jaffa, there is an 800-meter time trial, and you'll be thinking, Matthew, surely when you've got a half marathon in less than a month, you won't be doing the 800-meter time trial. Well, here's a little secret, I will be doing the 800-meter time trial.
What?
But before you ridicule me in the comment section down below, this is the thing. As well as doing the 800-meter time trial, afterwards I will do my own session as well. So pretty much things will be the same as usual, except at the start we will have an 800-meter rep slightly faster than usual. You may be thinking, why have I chosen to do the 800-meter time trial as well? Well, I just like to have one on the board for every season, and we can just incorporate this into a session. So I know this may not sound like the best idea, but I promise you I will turn this into some good half marathon training. So I will see you by the track. Alright everybody, so I am back from Jaffa now, and the 800-meter time trial, I am pleased to say I got quite a big PB. I got what I believe is 8 seconds, because on the watch we got 2:17. We will have the official time on the screen. It might have been slightly faster, but either way, it will most certainly be a PB. So yeah, it is a bit strange doing the 800 meter so close to the half marathon. I'm definitely not in the best 800 meters shape in the world, but still a PB nevertheless. I'm pretty happy with that. And also the way I paced this time trial, how on the first lap I kind of sat in, and then going on to the final 400, I did surge a bit, overtook someone and got away from a bit of the pack. I didn't win, I came third, but the way I paced it, I felt like I did pace it quite well because I surged quite well on that final lap. So yeah, overall, I am pretty happy with today's time trial. Oh, I did say I was going to do a session afterwards, and well, we did get a bit carried away with doing one of my friend's FPL forfeits, and well, we didn't get the session in the end. In total, I did 6k this evening, which is about 8k less than what I was hoping for, which is slightly gutting, but we will make up for that mileage. I promise you now, tomorrow we will make up for the mileage which we lost this evening. But still, the mileage which we did do, the 800-meter time trial, I'm very happy with that. Was it the best decision to do so close to the half marathon? Well, I don't know. The legs, they do feel really good, so I think we might possibly do a session tomorrow. One aspect of recovery which I do not mention that often, which I should do more, is your diet. And one way which I recover is by using this protein powder. I have the My Protein Whey Protein, and this is the vanilla flavour which I mix with some milk. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate flavoured protein, so for me I stick to the vanilla flavour. Alright guys, so it's Tuesday morning and it's time for me to reveal to you my game plan for this week. So today, Tuesday, I won't do a session, but I do plan on doing like I usually do, 2 more sessions this week to catch up on what we missed out yesterday. But instead today, we're going to try something which I haven't done for a very long time. In fact, I can't remember the last time I tried this. That's how rare and how less often I do this. Basically, what we're going to do today is a double day. So pretty much what that means is that this morning I'll go for an easy run, and then in the evening I'll go for another easy run to get the mileage in, but to split the mileage throughout the day. This is something I don't often do, but it's something we're going to try today. So pretty much the point of the double runs is that I can boost my mileage whilst not overloading on just the one run. And like usual for Tuesday, we will be keeping both of these runs to an easy pace, so I will see you after this morning's run. Alright guys, so we're back from the run now. The Strava and the splits are on the screen, and well, today we kept a nice and steady pace, something which I felt quite comfortable at, because these easy runs is about building your aerobic endurance and recovering the legs after hard effort, such as yesterday at the 800-meter time trial. This morning I did feel very good I felt quite strong, and the legs, they definitely did feel quite good, which is very positive news. The one thing which I don't really like about double days is that the thought that I've got to go out later as well. That I have that in the back of the head that even though I'm doing this run now, I'll be out later again as well. So I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of double days, but for the next 2 weeks of the training block, we may see a few more double days in the near future. But these easy runs, they're definitely very important for the half marathon training, and to some extent they are in their equal importance to the hard effort runs as well. But now it's time to recover, do my stretches, and I will see you at this evening's run. In between the two runs, I decided to do some strength and conditioning with this resistance band. The resistance band is great for recovery because it helps stretch out the leg and it removes any stiffness and keeps my leg feeling flexible and elastic. By removing any tightness or stiffness, this removes the chance of any injuries from occurring on our runs. Especially with me increasing the mileage and doing so many runs recently, it's important that I do this stretching. Alright guys, so it's the evening, so it's time for our second easy run of the day. Now, on an easy run, usually on a Tuesday, I would normally do around 10k, and that's what we did this morning. So anything we do now pretty much is extra mileage for us. You may be wondering why I'm choosing to increase the mileage for, but basically the point of this is for a distance such as the half marathon, I need to improve my aerobic endurance, and on the easy runs, I do exactly that. So yeah, pretty much increasing your mileage per week, it is extremely important for the half marathon training. But with that being said, I will see you after the easy run. Alright guys, so we are back from the easy run. We got 6 kilometers done, which brings our total to 16 kilometers for the day, which is a quite significant increase to what I would usually do on an easy run day on a Tuesday. I would say I'm pretty happy with how I feel today, considering the mileage we did, the double days, and how the legs currently feel, because on that 6k easy run today, the legs, they were feeling very good. I felt quite comfortable and I felt quite strong, and overall I'm quite pleased with how the body is feeling at the moment. Now for the double days, would I do it again? Quite possibly. It's not my favourite thing in the world, but we got it done and I'm quite happy with how it ended up in the end. The principle, it does work quite well. It's a nice way of increasing the mileage whilst not overloading on just the one run. By spreading the mileage out, it helps me to get an increased mileage without putting too much stress on the body in one instance. Would I recommend you to try the double days? Absolutely. With the half marathon training, it's one thing knowing your strengths, but it's another thing to know your weaknesses. And well, as you can see by the clips, my form is absolutely terrible in these clips because my core, it is very weak. And for me, my core is an area which naturally has a lot of room for improvement. So I attempted to do this core workout inspired by David Goggins to try and improve my core. And whilst I may have not had the best posture and form, it definitely did work my core, and improving my core strength, it has many benefits for runners. One of the main factors is that a strengthened core can improve your running form. This is because a strengthened core can help with improving stability and posture for a runner. This means the runner is more energy efficient and will fatigue less quickly, which is very important for the half marathon. And the sooner you fatigue, the sooner you'll find things harder and the sooner you'll slow down. So yeah, strengthening your core can be very important for the half marathon training. Alright guys, so today is a Wednesday, which means it is our session, and as you've been seeing recently, every week I've been mostly doing hill sessions, but today that is going to be slightly different. Hill sessions, they definitely are beneficial, but it's also good to alternate things and do different stuff as well. So today's session will be focusing on getting the volume in and dialing in the half marathon pace. These reps will be slightly longer, getting in the endurance and building up the half marathon pace whilst having a little bit of speed as well. Because at the end of the day, the difference between if I get the time I want or not is if I can run it in a fast enough time. But for today's session, I will be going around the streets of Kesgrove, specifically in Old Kesgrove. Nice and flat roads, and also they're not very busy, which is ideal for running. I'm also running round the loop, which enables me to run the distances without me having to look at my watch. So the loop is just under 1 kilometer, and I think this is very good for the mind because I feel it's better to do a 1 kilometer on than a 5 minute on, because if you're doing 5 minute on, you'll be constantly looking at your watch to see if it's over, and if you're doing a 1 kilometer loop, well, you won't have to look at your watch. So I think psychologically in workouts, I think it's better for you to work in distance measurements rather than minute measurements. So with that being said, I will see you after the run. Alright guys, we're back from the session. The Strava and the session details are on the screen. Alright, so the session details for tonight, we did a 2 kilometer warm up before progressing into the first half of the session. What we did is 1 kilometer hard, then we had 500 meters recovery, 500 meters hard, and then another 500 meters recovery, and then we repeated that 3 times. We then had a 1 kilometer recovery, and then for the second half of the session, we did 1 kilometer hard and then 1 kilometer recovery, and we did that again 3 times in total, and then we went into a 2 kilometer cool down. Boy, was that a tough session, but when I mean tough, I don't mean I was overwhelmed, it was too hard for me. Tough in it made us work hard, and it was an extremely good session for the half marathon. For me, this might be up there with one of my favourite sessions because it makes me work hard, but at the same time, I'm not feeling overwhelmed. I feel like I've got an adequate recovery, and overall, this is a very good session. It's very good at getting the volume in, and it's getting you into the deeper zones for a longer period of time, which is exactly what you want for the half marathon training. And tonight, I was very pleased with the effort I put in. I was happy with the splits and how consistent they were, and still, by the end, I was still putting in a very good effort. So to be able to say that, I am very happy. I also picked up £2 tonight, which just shows you how the work has paid off, and I put in a shift tonight. I mean, the one thing which I don't like about doing these sessions by myself is doing it by myself, because I'm out there all alone, I have no one to chase, and I miss seeing my friends. I miss having someone in front of me to keep me motivated to try and stick to. And when you do sessions by yourself, you can sometimes get quite lonely, you can maybe get a bit demotivated, and you don't really have anyone to push you onwards. So I think if you are doing the half marathon training, I would definitely advise trying to get a friend out and make things social, because I think that's a way of making the runs fun, because those sessions, they're long, and when you're out there by yourself, you can start to lose your mind a bit. But me personally, I feel like I am quite a disciplined person. I feel like I'll get the runs done even if I don't want to, and by the end, I was absolutely buzzing. For me, what keeps me motivated is reminding myself, why are we doing this for? Why have I put so much extra work in recently? And that is thinking about the half marathon, being there on the race day, the race vibes, and being on the race line. Thinking about getting across that finish line and getting the target goal which we wanted, that's what keeps me motivated. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with today's session. Alright guys, so today is Thursday, the day after the session, so naturally today's focus will be on recovery. This morning we will be going for a run, but the whole purpose of it will be a nice and easy pace to recover the legs, and in total I have planned 12k. So I will see you after the run. Alright guys, so we're back from the run. The Strava and the splits are on the screen, and in total we got 12k done. Now that was a lot warmer than what I expected. I went out midday, which is something which I don't usually do, and well, I thought we were nearing the end of the summer, but boy oh boy did that feel warm today. But overall, I'm really pleased with how that run went. As you can see from the splits, they were very consistent. I felt very comfortable, and it was a nice and steady pace, and I'm so happy with how I felt on today's run. So yeah, looking at these easy runs recently, looking at how consistent I can get the splits and how comfortable I feel at this pace, it's really good signs that I've definitely improved my aerobic endurance and my lung capacity. I'm hoping because of these runs it has definitely improved, and this could also be seen through my VO2 max, which currently sits at 68, which is a very positive number and one I am definitely happy with. But hopefully because of this training, I will be able to take in oxygen more efficiently, and this will mean I will fatigue less quickly, and this will be very important come race day at the half marathon. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with today's run. So for lunch, one recovery meal which I would highly recommend is having chicken and rice. Rice is full of carbs which helps us restore our glycogen stores, which is the main source of energy which we use during endurance running. Chicken full of protein helps recover micro tears in muscles after runs, and this pretty much allows the muscle to grow back stronger. So you can see why this is a good meal to have for the half marathon training. Alright guys, so today is a Friday, and as you would have seen earlier in the week, I said this. I do plan on doing like I usually do, 2 more sessions this week. And today is the day when I do my second session of the week on a Friday. Most weeks Friday would have been a rest day, but as you would have seen when we went to Bakewell on holiday, we did do a session on that Friday, so this isn't the first time when I've done a session on a Friday. And also because the parkruns I'm no longer taking at a threshold pace and instead of doing an easy pace, that means that today I will decide to do my second session of the week. I also said earlier in the week that I didn't like doing sessions by myself, and well, today we'll be doing a session run by Jaffas known as Deltas. And well, that will basically mean I will not be doing this session by myself but with others as well. So yeah, I'm very happy to be able to say that. This is the first time that I've done the Jaffa session on a Friday, so yeah, I'm quite looking forward to doing that, and I will see you after the run.
2,000 years later.
Alright everybody, so we are back from the Delta session, and I'm going to say it now, I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight's session. So for tonight's session we went through Christchurch Park, which during this half marathon training block I've done quite a few hill sessions here, but tonight it was along a nice and flat path, and in total for the session details we did 800-meter repeats, and in total I did 4 of these at just below the 5k average pace. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that, doing something different to shake up the train, a bit of variety to keep us motivated. And yeah, it was a really nice session, and I was very happy with the effort which I put into. I felt quite strong, and this session also got a bit of speed into the legs, which is something which I definitely have been lacking with the amount of continuous half marathon training sessions which we've been doing. So yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of change and to get a bit of speed into the legs. So yeah, I was very happy with the session. It challenged me good, and I was very happy with the effort I put in. And also, as I mentioned earlier in the video, how running with others, it keeps you motivated, having someone in front of you to chase down. It's a bit of friendly competition, and I think that helps you, it spurs you on to run that a little bit faster. So yeah, I'm very happy with tonight's run. Alright guys, so this morning it is a Saturday, which translates to parkrun day, and today we will be going to Bury St Edmunds at Norton Park to do the Bury Parkrun. And as we did a session yesterday and have the long run scheduled tomorrow, today the parkrun effort, it will be a nice and easy recovery effort. Bury Parkrun I've done once before. My PB there I think I should be able to beat because we did it over 3 years ago, and well, I've improved quite a bit since then, so I think we should easily be able to beat that, even though we are going at a nice and easy pace. But the course, it is 2 laps going around the park. It's mostly on trails and on grass, so it is a nice and soft surface, which is exactly what I wanted this morning because it's good for recovery, not much stress on the joints. So yeah, quite looking forward to this park run. Alright guys, so we're back from the Bury St Edmunds parkrun now. My time is on the screen. I've got a time of 20 minutes and 55 seconds, which I'm very pleased to say, because today we went at a nice and steady pace, something which I felt quite comfortable at, and I definitely did feel quite strong this morning, which is good to say. And I was saving a bit of energy in the legs for the long run tomorrow, and the time I got, I'm very happy with how I felt going at that effort. I also really enjoyed the Bury St Edmunds parkrun because the course, it is 2 laps going on grass and trail surfaces, and well, these softer surfaces, it is ideal for recovery because the softer surfaces, it's less impact on the joints, which is good for recovery. And yeah, it was a really nice course, one which I very much enjoyed, and also it will be quite good cross-country training, so I might come back again in the near future. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed the parkrun today, and I'm happy with my effort, at a nice and steady effort, getting a good time, feeling quite strong for the pace which I was doing, and saving a bit of energy in the legs for tomorrow's long run. So one thing which I identified from last week's long run is that I needed to practice fueling. Last week I had 4 custard creams before my long run, and well, quite frankly that won't cut it. My pace significantly dropped in the second half of that long run, so today I had to change things up. So today I'm going to properly fuel by practicing what I will have on race day. It's important to practice fueling before race day to find out what works for you, and this will be seen if I can keep consistent splits on today's long run or not. So to start things off, I had a bagel, and I like bagels, and I do have this quite normally before race day for breakfast because firstly, they are a carb which increases my glycogen store, and secondly, they are very easy to digest in my opinion, which is quite important. And I can assure you now, you do not want to be throwing up your breakfast halfway along the course. So next up, as a spread, I then also had some peanut butter. Peanut butter provides a healthy fats and proteins, and it combines very well with carbs such as bagels. This is because the peanut butter is slower to digest, which means it can extend the energy life from the carbs. This means it will keep you feeling full for longer, and trust me, you want to avoid feeling hungry on race day. And last but not least, it's another spread, honey. Honey provides simple sugars which is easy to digest, meaning you can easily replenish your glycogen stores. Honey is digested extremely quickly into your bloodstream, giving you an immediate boost of energy. And that is exactly what you want before a run. Honey is also gentle on the stomach, meaning you should not have any digestive issues. And trust me, having stomach problems during a run is the worst feeling in the world. Once you've had your bagel, I'd wait roughly 1.5 hours before going out for your run. So hopefully by practicing the fueling for race day, by having what I would have on the race day for my breakfast today, hopefully that will give me enough energy on my long run to keep consistent splits today. I will also be doing a second way of practicing fueling on today's long run, because right here we have Assist Energy Gel. And the one thing which I noticed from the long run last week is that coming into the halfway point of the long run, I started to lose quite a lot of energy. So this week we're going to practice by doing what we would do on a half marathon and having an energy gel exactly halfway through the long run. So I've designed a 10k loop, and basically this will enable me to come back to my house and halfway through quickly come back in and have this energy gel. So halfway through I'll be able to get that energy in, and hopefully this will enable me to keep consistent and remain strong right to the very end of today's long run. So with that being said, I will see you after the long run.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day.
We are back from the half marathon. The Strava and the splits are on the screen. And well, today I'm very happy with how things went. That is officially my fastest ever time which I've done in the half marathon, which shows you just how much of a big difference properly fueling can make. Comparing last week's 22k long run and today's half marathon, you can just see the difference, because today the bagel with the honey and peanut butter and the energy gel halfway through, that really did help, and I felt a lot stronger. We put the splits back on the screen, and you can just see how consistent they were and how I did not let the pace drop right until the very end. Half marathons, they are definitely physically challenging, but I think they are also very mentally challenging, because it's a long way to go. It's such a big step up from doing 10Ks. Well, today I managed to get through, and I'm very happy with how consistent and how strong we felt right the way until the very end. That is the confidence booster which I really did need, because a few of those long runs I was doubting, could we get round the half marathon in the time I wanted, but today that is a big confidence booster that I really needed. I would highly recommend you guys practice fueling on long runs, because energy gels, they can be very different for people. Some people, energy gels, they don't sit well with their stomach, so it's good to find the energy gels that work for you, because this bad boy, as well as it being good and giving me energy, it also tasted alright, and I actually did quite enjoy it. It's got the right texture which I wanted, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I will be using one of these on race day. That is going to be it for this week's of mileage. In total, this will probably be the highest week of the half marathon training, with this week I reached a total of 91 kilometers ran. After this week, we will have 3 weeks in total to the date of the half marathon, so I think this is the perfect time to reach my highest mileage goal. Firstly, this will enable me to have the aerobic endurance come race day, but at the same time, it will allow me to taper down and keep the legs as fresh as possible come race day. Taken in, this is my highest week of mileage. I'm very happy with how it went. I felt very good in the sessions. We've had some quality runs, and also a big difference is that this week I felt very good on the long run. On the long run, I did something which I hadn't done before, which is practice and fueling, which is crucial to do so before the half marathon, and it's something I definitely recommend you to do if you're preparing for a half marathon. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, because I will be back with the last weeks of the half marathon training and the race day vlog itself. So if you're excited for that, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.